Hello everyone and welcome back to Mordheim, City of the Damned, where we will be looking at another Battle of Behemoths warband. This time it's the Undead, and it's Klajd, the reigning champion of the last tournament, winner of multiple tournaments. So it will be very interesting to see how he has designed his warband here using the Paranoia mod. They are the Rave and the Grave. I believe he just played Undead, so he's carrying on the tradition. They've shown to be a very powerful warband in tournaments. They've won a lot recently, so I don't know if it's luck or the players using them, but the Undead are doing well. So let's see how they do without their what seem to be very powerful henchmen. Now it's just going to be the heroes. And you can see here he has a vampire, two thralls, a Drej, and a necromancer. So we'll start with his one and only leader, who you'll see the entire well, you can change in between the league and the tournament. But this is Aaron von Drej. Vampire. Very tanky leaders typically, and he looks to be the same. He has Insult Mastery. Ignore Pain. Even tankier. Give 10% for 3 turns. I don't know why that says 1 turn. It appears to be a bug. I'm pretty sure it lasts 3 turns. Unless he's changed it back. See, that says 3 turns. I don't know. I'll have to ask Paranoia. He has basic order, so it does not give the range or the hit chance. That's not a big deal when you're a massive tank, though. The hit chance is something, but Web of Steel, basic Web of Steel. So just 2 parries. Intensity, the free skill. Terror, of course he always starts with, which with all these melee resist Serenity builds, that may harm him. We'll see. We have Armor Proficient Mastery, Battle Tongue Mastery to make that cheaper, just Basic Hardy, and then Mastery Veteran for just 2 skill points. Look to top all these off. Look how high they get. Meaty little guy here. So that's Aaron von Drej, 361 HP, heavy armor tank, order leader. And see who will be ordering around. We have Nora von Drej, I guess his wife or child. I don't know. I kind of want to see. Okay, Palmer. So maybe this is the wife. She looks to be another tanky thrall, but not in the heavy armor. She has defensive stance mastery. Okay, interesting. Not coming out the gates too high. I wonder if he has a shielding. He does. Insult. Basic to stack with the mastery. Basic adrenaline rush. Get 10 red pills, 5 attacks. Basic staggering blow. Lasts for 2 turns now. Intensity, the free skill. She has fear, of course. Anticipation. So she wants to use her armor to start to stack this. Kind of like, if you guys have watched on Twitch, Paranoia's Ogre. He's been stacking Anticipation to pretty good effect. Armor Proficient for this heavy armor. Awareness to get the melee resistance up. And Body Reconstruction, which she can use since she plans on being hit to build up melee resistance. That can help her from being crit stunned. So kind of a tank melee resistance build. It's cool to see people try different builds. I mean, that's part of this. I know, Klajd knows he could have just slapped together like a heavy armor tank or traditional. But it's fun to see him. So part of this is testing the mod, and it's cool to see him try to test a new kind of hybrid. A melee resist heavy armor hybrid, which that's not existed until this mod. So pretty cool to see. Let's see how she does. And then we have Laura Palmer from America. Could be from England. I don't know. It's a very English kind of sounding name. Let's check her out. She seems to be more of a light armor dodge tank. No, maybe melee resistance as well. More of a pure melee resistance. She has defensive stance, basic insult, feint, which now stacks, so it gives you 5%. Not stacks, but lasts multiple turns, not per attack, counterattack. So it's been nerfed accordingly in overall melee resistance. Jaw strike basic, which we've seen. Careful approach, which is quite good now for the mastery. 3 turns duration, 40%, and it only takes away 1 meter. So it really gives you great ranged resistance. which is actually pretty important. If you've been watching again some of the matches, some of the melee resist tanks are just getting shot off the unit. So if you take careful approach, get engaged, have a shield, we're talking about 60% engaged in combat. It's giving her 90% range resistance, so she'll be hard to peel off. And of course, shield specialist mastery, awareness mastery, vigilance. So if you ambush her, she will have 20% more melee resistance. Interesting to see that. And then body reconstruction. So that kind of counters my one Skaven build. Quite interesting. We'll have to watch for Laura Palmer. Then we'll check out the Drej. It does appear to be maybe a hybrid. Interesting. You can get 15 accuracy with him pretty easily. And make like a crit archer build. He seems to be more of a melee ranged hybrid though. And he gets this 15-15, which is a change too. He actually gained 1 physical. And I think he lost from a mental category. So this is really important now with the mod to be able to unlock these, for make him a truly good tank if you wanted to be. But he's a 400 HP archer hybrid guy, it appears. He's got Humble Servant, which has been buffed considerably. Since nobody took the Drej, he has terrible base movement. It's just 5. It's really hampered him over his career in Mordheim. So he's got a significant buff to this. Healing in general has been buffed as well. And this is the only one that's stackable. So it's a bit dangerous. It's 75 wounds granted. And 30 dodge. And initiative. Very powerful, actually. Only for vampires and thralls, though, of course. Which he seems to have, right? So, interesting. We'll see this guy most likely out on combat with his new Humble Servant. Mastery Exhaustion to make up for that terrible movement. Basic Insult. Basic Adrenaline Rush. Basic Web of Steel, even though he's an archer, but I imagine once he switches over, that's pretty good. Quick Reload. Heavy Armor. Wow, interesting for an archer again. And Hardy. Tracker. Increases his initiative. I'd assume to go before these guys, maybe? Or nearer to them? I'm not sure. It's probably a cheaper skill, though. And then Knowledge of Mordheim. I don't know, it might even be free. So it looks like he wants to shoot things, and then maybe emergency tank on the Impressive as needed. And then, of course, heal them up. And then we have Mingle. Joseph, I don't know. I guess that's because he doesn't like him? I hate to even see the man's name. Terrible human being. Joseph Mingle. Yikes. 434 HP Necromancer. Wow. He's got some tanky... This is the opposite of my Skaven. And which is why I will lose this tournament. But anyway. He has Mastery Exhaustion. Basic Adrenaline Rush. Basic Web of Steel. Basic Insult. Cauterize. Interesting. I think that's free. Could be why he took it. Just to fill something in there, right? Warp Attunement? I think that's the same. I think it's always been like... He may have tweaked this up a little. I think it's about the same now. Veteran Mastery to unlock some of these. Like 20 toughness. Holy shit. This is like a melee kind of unit. He's a Wolf Priest. Mastery Hardy. Mastery Improved Casting. And Mastery Arcane Study. So he's going to tank and buff. He doesn't need the staff anymore, if you remember. The changes with the staffs and casting. You can put him in a shield and an axe and have him tank. Get in there and fight shit. So very interesting. He's got basic Rotten Touch. Hasn't touched that. Mastery Call of Vanhel. Now, he doesn't have zombies or thralls, but it's going to give the vampires and the Cryptor initiative and dodge. So he's gonna play a bit with the initiative ladder, I imagine, with the Drej and this fellow. Warp Overcharge, make you have to go pick up some stone or eat 70 damage on average. That's pretty brutal. Corpse Flesh, give his team critical. Wow, that's been buffed, hasn't it? Or has it always been 20? Either way, make them basically immune to crits. I have no chance against this warband. And then Lifestealer Mastery to top off his 434 HP and do some magic damage. And then we have Sir Dance and Flesh-a-Lot. I guess the old rapper, Sir Mix-a-Lot, has come back from the dead. The Crypt Orb. One of the weaker impressives, I would say, but still an impressive, right? Mastery Sidestep, Mastery Insult, Armor Break Basic, Mastery Exhaustion, Basic Adrenaline Rush for 10 attacks, or 10 red pills, 5 attacks. Veteran Mastery, Hardy Mastery, Nimble Mastery to make him slower. That's not that expensive. It's easy to map. It was free on my Rat Ogre, and I think just 2 more to master. So he's doing that on purpose with Call of Van Hell. We've seen he wants to play with the initiative ladder. So if you make him slow, you can then jump and have 2 turns in a row. You're kind of more immune to Staggering Blow. But he could be punished severely by someone like Rudelbert, who has 100 HP and high mobility on his Cult Warband, and absolutely fucking wrecked my team already on Twitch. I know I'm recording these, but battles have started. That could be the downside, is a player starts next to you, and comes and kills you without even moving. So I did want that because I didn't want people all just taking slow warbands. I want people to be rewarded for risking 100 initiative and investing in it, and then being able to engage on turn 1, given a deployment or whatnot. So interesting choice, but it definitely, you can see how it works with the Undead Warband. They're pretty much the masters of initiative manipulation. And then resist magic. Try to not bit Chains of Chaos and all that. Magic, obviously, resistance, very important in this tournament. You got 3 little skulls up there. It looks like he's hugging him from behind or something. Very cute. Yeah, and I guess that's it. So this is Rave in the Grave. One of your definitely top 3 finishing warbands, I'll just call it now. I mean, Klajd has been on a roll. And the Undead, I think, are pretty strong, even without their henchmen. As you can see, they're extremely tanky, good melee resistance, yet also really good dodge, right? Like, this can be buffed significantly with Call of Van Hell and the Drej. I think that's like 60%. Is that what it was? 30% more dodge. And then, okay, 20. So you can buff any of these guys 50% dodge just with those 2. Well, obviously these 2 would have to be out of combat, but go to the leader. So he can get up to 70% dodge. I don't know, maybe he goes offhand empty, gets even more. Well, maybe his dodge won't play as much a role. It's definitely more about initiative as well, though. Let's see what we can get. 30 initiative, and I believe it's 20 again. So yeah, he can get 50 initiative too. That's going to put him all the way up to 91. Switch to a dagger. It's even greater than 100. Was that 38? Wait, what am I looking at? 41, 65, 55, 39. They'll be able to jump a lot of people. So it's going to be part of his tactics. You know, some people are doing it with Crimson Shades, switching to a dagger, ready stance. There's a lot of different ways. But in this tournament, I believe it is one of the things. Initiative manipulation can be really powerful since there's only 4 units. So if you can get, and they hit hard, right? So if you can get 2 turns in a row, you can do a lot of damage. But that principle will still apply in a 10 versus 10, or even just PvE, if that's what you're interested in. So it's going to be fun to watch them. I'm sure he'll do very well. Very tanky. I'm tired of the Undead killing me, but such is life. And it's good to see you back out there on the mean streets of Mordheim.